The Ahuja family was ecstatic. They had finally found their dream home. Nestled in the heart of Bhubaneswar, it was a charming old bungalow with a sprawling garden. Little did they know, their joy would be short-lived. The house held a dark secret. The previous owner, a 90-year-old woman, had died in a fire within its walls. The family dismissed the stories surrounding the house as mere superstition. They were practical people, not easily swayed by tales of the supernatural. They moved in on a sunny afternoon, their hearts filled with hope and excitement for a new beginning. The house, however, had other plans. It began subtly at first. Unexplained cold spots in certain rooms, a feeling of being watched, a faint scent of burning wood, even though there was no fire. The family brushed it off as their imaginations playing tricks on them. They told themselves it was the stress of the move. But deep down, a seed of unease had been sown. As days turned into weeks, the occurrences became more frequent, more intense. The Ahujas were left in no doubt that something was amiss in their dream home. They were living with an unseen entity, something that was not at peace. One evening, as Mrs. Ahuja was preparing dinner, the fire alarm shrieked through the house. The piercing sound sent a jolt of fear through her. She rushed outside, fearing the worst. But there was no fire, no smoke, no explanation. The alarm stopped as abruptly as it had started, leaving behind an eerie silence. Later that night, young Priya, the daughter, woke up screaming. Her room, she claimed, was filled with a strange white fog. It swirled around her bed, cold and damp, sending shivers down her spine. Her parents rushed to her side, but by then, the fog had vanished. All that remained was a bone-chilling cold. The incidents continued. A lamp in the living room mysteriously moved from one table to another, right before their very eyes. Mr. Ahuja could have sworn he heard whispers in the dead of night, voices that sent shivers down his spine. Fear, once a seed, now took root, spreading its tendrils through the family. The family was living on edge. Sleep became a distant memory, haunted by nightmares and unexplained noises. The once happy home was now shrouded in an atmosphere of dread and paranoia. Every creak of the floorboard, every rustle of leaves outside the window, sent shivers down their spines. Priya, once a bubbly child, grew quiet and withdrawn. She refused to sleep alone, her eyes reflecting a terror that no child should ever have to experience. The thought of their daughter enduring such fear filled the Ahujas with a sense of helplessness and despair. Even the most skeptical among them, Mr. Ahuja, couldn't shake off the feeling that they were not alone. The evidence was all around them, whispering in the shadows, revealing itself in the dead of night. The house, once their sanctuary, had become their prison, a prison haunted by an unseen presence. Desperate for answers, the Ahujas consulted everyone they could think of. They called in priests, paranormal investigators, even a local mystic known for his knowledge of the occult. The house was blessed, cleansed, and examined from top to bottom, yet the strange occurrences persisted. Some spoke of restless spirits, of souls unable to find peace. Others suggested it was the land itself, imbued with residual energy from a tragic past. Theories were offered, debated, and ultimately discarded, leaving the family no closer to understanding the truth. Science had no explanation, and faith provided no solace. The Ahujas were caught in a terrifying limbo, trapped between the rational and the supernatural. Their once unshakable belief in logic and reason was crumbling in the face of the inexplicable. The old woman who once called the house her home became a subject of intense curiosity. Who was she? What was her life like? And most importantly, why was her spirit seemingly tethered to this house? The Ahujas delved into the past, hoping to unearth some clue, some explanation for the haunting events that plagued their present. They discovered she had lived a solitary life, her only companion a loyal old dog. Neighbors spoke of her kindness, her gentle nature. There were whispers of a tragedy, a fire that had claimed the life of her husband many years ago. Had she died mourning him, her soul unable to find peace? The Ahujas learned that the old woman was a devotee of the goddess Kali, often performing elaborate pujas in her home. Could it be that the rituals, performed with such unwavering devotion, had left behind a residual energy, a spiritual echo that resonated through the years? As the weeks turned into months, the Ahujas learned to adapt. They tried to coexist with the unexplained, to find a semblance of normalcy within the paranormal. They kept their distance from certain rooms, avoided being alone in the house at night. They respected the unseen presence, hoping that in turn it would grant them a semblance of peace. The haunting never truly ceased, but it lost some of its intensity. The whispers faded to a murmur, the cold spots less frequent. The Ahujas continued to live in their dream home, forever bound to the unseen presence that shared their space. They had, in their own way, reached an understanding, a tenuous truce with the supernatural. The haunting of the Bhubaneswar bungalow remains a mystery, a chilling reminder that some things defy explanation. It serves as a haunting testament to the enduring power of the unseen, the unknown, and the eternal mystery that lies at the heart of the human experience.